sharp on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. This video is going to be about slide guitar in standard tuning, and specifically how to play some chords with slide in standard tuning. I've spent a lot of time playing slide in standard tuning over the years, and because of that I've developed ways that you can still play chords and pretty much anything you would really need with the slide, and I think it sounds pretty cool. And so I'm going to go over those in this video. So I have a way you can play minor chords, major chords, and also dominant chords. So again, like, I'm not forcing anybody to play in standard tuning. You can stick to the open tunings, and if you're someone who's like that, then I have other open tuning videos as well. But for someone who is curious about playing chords with slide in a standard tuning, then this is going to be the video for you. For this, we're talking about E standard tuning. So this is the one that most people will play and learn from. So it's E, A, D, G, B, E. I'm going to go over a chord that I use for a major chord. I'm just going to take D major. So a D major would typically play, there's a bunch of different ways you can play it depending on how many strings you want to play and if you want to use the open strings or not. So for a D chord, if you think about this, if you think about a bar chord you would play for a D major, you would play 5th string, 5th fret, 4th string, 7th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret. And that would give you a D, A, D, F sharp. Now with slide, I'm just gonna ignore that first D. So I'm gonna play A, D, F sharp on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. And that is, a major triad for D. So I use this so much, and you can even throw in that, if you want to add a little bit of extra, harmony and color to it, you can throw in that last string as well. And I think it sounds pretty nice, over anything. I've used this for years in all different types of recordings and applications, and I think it sounds great. So for a D major chord, I would just play that. And that's all centered in that 7th fret. It lines up perfectly. So, and if you wanted to, play a different major chord, so instead of D major, I want to play E major. Your E major chord is typically, you have your E on the 7th fret, and then you lay down your pinky or your ring finger over the 9th fret on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Then I'll just play in the 9th fret there on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. And what's cool about E major, in E standard tuning, we do have that open string too, so we can play that 6th string to get the bass note too. So in standard tuning, we're playing, pretty cool, big open chords. That's great. So again, like any chord that you do want to play, just think of that typical bar chord, and then instead of playing the one you would play with your index finger, just play with the slide on those, the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. You got your major chords. So now a minor chord, we'll have to think a little bit more about this, but a minor chord typically can be played bar chord or something like that, or even this is D minor. The D minor chord, we'll think about this shape, so the one where I'm in the 10th fret on the 6th string, the 12th on the 5th and the 4th string, and then the 10th fret on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. And now if we take a look at this now, do we have anything, kind of centered in one fret Well, we do actually have, if you look at what you're doing, you're actually playing this sort of bar here, all in the 10th fret. So there you go. You do have your D minor triad there. And you know, if your slide is like long enough and can encompass all the strings, you can actually still play that. You can play that bass note there in the same fret as well. So you have your D here, then you have an F, A, and D. But you do get, you know, a D minor chord even with that bass note there. So things line up again. There's your minor chord right there. For a dominant chord, I'll sometimes do this. I have an advantage though because I do use the ring finger for the slide. I have my pinky left over, so sometimes you can play a dominant chord. Like if I want to play like an E7 dominant chord, you could sometimes play, well, one of the areas you can play it in is the 9th fret on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. So you have a B, E, G sharp, and then that D here. So this one you do have to, you know, cheat a little bit with your fretting hand, with the other fingers to fret a bit. So I'll lay the slide down in that 9th fret, and then I'm going to use my pinky, and I'm going to lay it down in the 10th fret. So that one would take, you know, a lot of practice, especially if you're not used to fretting while you're sliding. This one is going to be, I use this for more like power chords, typically where you would play just like 2 notes together. This doesn't really, you don't really have to worry about major or minor necessarily, but if I'm playing just you got a D chord in there, you know, you would play that. I'll use just the 7th fret, A and D, just an A and a D, you know, the 1 and the 5. Same thing, you could move that up for the 12th fret, the 5th and the 4th string. But yeah, like you could throw that in there for just power chords and things, and this is still in standard tuning. I think it does sound pretty cool. And then E, you know, in the 2nd fret with the open string. So I hope that was helpful. If you do want to go down the road of playing slide in standard tuning, which I do recommend, it's a great challenge and exercise and will really benefit you and really help to work your picking technique and muting technique. So if you do want to go down that road, there's you know, ways you can play these chords, and you know, it takes a bit to kind of, it's not as nice, like you can't just play all the strings and just, you know, kind of strum and go. You do got to be a little bit more aware and careful, and you're going to be playing only certain strings and not other ones. As you go through it and practice more, you'll find your own ways to do it as well. Like these are not the only spots where it works. There's plenty of them. I can even make a bunch of other videos and go over some other chords as well to show some other examples of this, but these were just some ways that you can play, you know, a major chord, a minor chord, power chords, and then even that one little dominant chord there. Like you can play the majority of anything you could ever imagine with just those chords there. So I hope you guys liked that video. If you enjoyed, it'd be great if you give me a thumbs up on the video. Consider subscribing as well. I have other lessons about slide guitar and also non-slide guitar. If you're interested in that type of thing, definitely consider subscribing. Definitely comment below if you have questions, anything I missed, or you have ideas for future videos. That'd be really helpful to me as well. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.